This week's episode is sponsored by the Running Algorithm, your one-stop solution for running coaching. Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Talking Triathlon, the podcast where Tim Ford and James Bale only talk about triathlon. They do not talk about anything else because it is irrelevant. I am Tim Ford. That is James Bale. Jimbo, I don't dare ask how you are, mate. Let's get straight into the triathlon talk.
Yeah, we don't discuss anything other than immediate triathlon chat, eh?
I
With
know.
with stern, serious looks on our faces and no thought for anything outside of
How
just
dare we enjoy this, Jimbo?
dialed in, that dialed in triathlon chat. Yeah, mate, I am actually very good. I am it's been a roller coaster in the last week or so. 2 weeks, maybe 3 weeks, I would suggest. But things are starting to calm down and I'm thoroughly, you know what I'm doing at the moment?
Tell me.
I'm thoroughly enjoying my running again.
I
It's like
love to hear it.
it's like I said, I've mentioned a few times, I'm off these horrible 5 year medication journey, and it's like I can finally run again, actually properly, without pain. And the other day I got back from a run 2 days ago, and I bent down to take my running shoes off, and I was like, fuck, it's nice to not have knees filled with fluid that hurt when you try and bend down and take your running shoes off. And it's quite a unique experience for me at the moment. I'm just enjoying going out and cruising around and getting faster.
I love to hear that. Running is the best. Like honestly, I think running is so
It
great.
is
And
the best, but I'd forgotten it could be the best because it was just a drag. It was a painful drag for 5 years, and I was never getting any faster. I was always feeling horrible, and it is actually the best when you're actually doing it. You're going through the gears properly, and you're improving, and you can just go and run. And if you want to, you can just go and run around at a reasonable pace for however long because it's all right. Yeah, it's good
you,
fun. How are you,
you
man?
know what? I think the best feeling, to me, the best feeling running is when you're running hard and you know and can easily go harder. Like I love it when you
Yeah.
actually have the ability to control your speed. Like I've done, let's say you're doing like a tempo run, right? Like for me, which is about, I don't know, 4 minute something, just over 4 minute pace. But if I'm then like doing an ongoing run with some spikes, like I might do like 4 or 5 minute efforts with tempo in between or something. And the ability to actually speed up, stay controlled, and then back. Like I love when I can actually change it, vary my pace willingly, not just like my body's like slow down because you're fucked.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
a
all
nice
kind of,
feeling.
when you can feel you can surf those heart rate zones a little bit.
Mm.
You can push it right up to the edge of the zone. And yeah, it is exactly that, isn't it? It's that ability to go fast without blowing up and knowing that you've got a little bit more if you need it. It's more fun than I expected it to be.
I had a huge victory this week at work, something that I know I've told our patrons about, but we found out that Vasco Velasquez wasn't racing Super Chicago like a couple of days ago, not that long ago, and had this mad dash of trying to find a replacement for him. And I'm not sure I'm allowed to say it on this, but I know that I've told the patrons. But like, fuck, when I got that across the line, it that was one of those. It felt very good. Like it was very satisfying to come up with a really good solution. So I mean, it'll probably be announced by the time this comes out, or you'll see it on the start list. But
Hey, I mean, I know I said my running's going up through the gears, but Chicago is going to be a bit of a test, to be honest.
yeah, yeah, yeah. What? I don't get it.
Oh, it's obviously me you've signed to
Of
replace
course,
Vasco. Yeah.
to be honest,
That took
d-
that took you a moment.
I honestly was like the marathon, the what? Yeah, it's true. It's James. That's embarrassing, Tim. No, there was a point where we were actually joking that I might have to throw a kid on because we were just struggling so bad to find someone. Mate, I'm talking. Like, I couldn't get anyone. So the solution we've got is very good. Unfortunately, I couldn't
Yeah,
afford
it's
James.
a good
James's
name.
fee was too high.
You're
Um,
probably not allowed to say, but it is a good name.
the other good news, obviously, is that your tri suit has arrived. I've seen a lot of people saying that I should actually be the one to wear it, and I will
Yeah,
happily admit that if you wear it this weekend at London, I will get myself something equally stupid. I will get myself a tri suit with your face on it, and I'll wear it in a race. So there we go,
it
James.
will be worn this
By
weekend
you,
in London.
by
No,
you.
no. Lewis is wearing it in the swim. It's already been arranged.
Well,
He's
does
going
he
to
pay us
wear it
back
in the
then?
swim.
Does he have to pay?
Hey,
I mean, he already paid for it, but does he now have to give us the money back? Because
he's not keeping the damn thing,
okay,
but he's going to wear it and then take it home and wash it and then return it to Triathlon, Talking Triathlon Towers for prosperity.
Can you sign it for him to? Can you sign it before he wears it?
I can do that. Yeah, I
Because then
can
he
do
has to
that.
wear it. Then he has to wear it signed by you, which I just think makes it even worse. Jimbo, if you want to contribute to us buying stupid tri suits for each other or all the other stuff that we do, like the bonus episode we recorded last week, or you want to find out who that super triathlete that I signed for the team early, head to patreon.com/talking triathlon. That is where you do it. Thank you to everybody who joins up. We appreciate it. It's why we still do this, to be honest. Jimbo, let's get stuck in this week. The first thing we want to talk about is, of course, what?
Jan Frodeno, mate. Been a while since we've had a chat about him.
The GOAT.
But he is taking a step into the unknown by doing the OCC UTMB event, which is the 55-kilometer variation of the UTMB. There are various races you can do, getting up to the big UTMB event, which is the
The big
longest
dog.
one. Yeah, so he's doing the 55K um, to go and see what he can do over the trail distance. I mean, I'm quite keen to see how he gets on.
Mate, anything that Jan Frodeno does, I'm interested in. So yeah, you're right. You said it. I'm like, we haven't spoken about Jan Frodeno on this podcast for far
We
too
haven't.
long.
No, it feels weird. It does because he was obviously one of the biggest names in the sport, still is.
Mhm.
Um, and he was always coming up and doing things, and whether he was in his pomp, um, winning constantly, or when he came back and won that T100 race and kind of signed out in style. Um, it does feel strange that he's no longer really part of the conversation anymore. He's always there because he does the commentary at the T100s. He's always around the events, but he's just not part of that ecosystem conversation anymore. So it's quite nice to have him going and doing a race.
I think he'll do well. I do think that it is also kind of very, he's sort of on a much higher level than most of us live in that sort of age group of life a little bit because a lot of people who have done triathlon for a while do tend to move over to running only because it's a lot easier to train for running than it is for swim, bike, run. And then they
Yeah.
inevitably head up in the ultra world. I know that so many of my friends who don't necessarily do triathlon anymore, we don't have UTMB, but we've got UTA, Ultra Trail Australia here, and so many of my friends have done the 22, the 50, up to the 100. So I think we'll see. I mean, you saw Beth McKenzie has done it for, she's won it. She won that UTA race. She's podiumed at a whole heap of these ultras. So I think it also shows that athletes can sort of, if they want, who knows, Jan Frodeno might be like, I just want to have a bit of fun. I'm not interested in pursuing
Yeah.
this
He could very
professionally or
much
anything.
just be going out and having a bit of fun for the day. I mean, there's a quote here. He said, "In August, I'll toe the line for the OCC UTMB, 55 kilometers of steep, rocky beauty from Orsez to Chamonix. I've long heard the mecca of trail running and figured I should see it at least once. It's trail running in its most beautiful form: altitude, suffering, scenery, and an uncomfortable number of descents that would make a mountain goat reconsider its life choices. For someone not exactly known for his power to weight ratio, this is way out of my comfort zone. The timeline, thanks to a few injuries and crashes, throws out any textbook preparation. I've only had 5 weeks to get ready. This is possibly a spectacularly dumb idea, but also exactly what I needed. The gravity, the element of uncertainty, and the excitement is always what I've loved about a goal."
So he's still a triathlete because he's getting the excuses out of the way before.
Yeah, yeah. Pump those excuse brakes, mate, and then get out there and see what you can do. I think I hope it would be cool to see Jan Frodeno, you know, do some trail. If he falls in love with it, go and do it, enjoy it. Maybe go up through the gears, maybe do some of the longer races. But you never know. He may get there and think this is not for me.
Well, he is starting with the cream of the crop because UTMB is the Kona of trail running. It's the big one. And
Yeah,
anytime UTMB ever comes up, now again, this shows my age a little bit because I remember before it was like this series that, obviously Ironman bought Ultra Trail and now UTMB series is an Ironman owned trail series. But, Mont Blanc has always been the pinnacle of trail running. And one of my very, very dear friends, his name's Robert Woolley, and I know he listens sometimes and will be mortified that I do this to him more than once, but he qualified years ago and slept through the race, flew all the way over there, had the hotel, the works, and slept through the race. So didn't even do it.
well, because of jet lag.
No, I think he was a bit sick or he had a bit of food poisoning or something, or, I don't know. I remember, but I know that he woke up in the race had like well and truly started and he was like, yep, I guess I'm not. Just
Oh,
flew all the way here to do it. And
brutal.
he has since done it. He has since qualified again and gone and
Uh,
done it, I believe. But he told me that. And again, this guy is just like, of course it happens to Rob. Like that sort of guy. So, yeah, just a little, there you go, Rob. You appreciate me always throwing you under the bus like that, mate. And I will continue to do that always. Now, should we talk about a few little races that have happened, or should we start turning our attention to some races that are going to happen? Because we've got a few start lists. We've also got a bit of news. I mean, again, you sort of pick what we talk about and when. So you tell me.
um, I think we should. I mean, what has happened that we need to talk about?
What do you
Because
mean in
that's
terms
how
of
the order of
results?
things, isn't it?
I think there's enough race starts to talk about. I mean, let's talk about. We touched on T100 last week and sort of unpacked a fair few things. We've got T100 London obviously this week. Why don't we talk about that? We can do picks. We can also talk about. Let's
Yeah,
just
there you
like we
go.
did with
There
the
you go.
T100 section. So the first thing I
So
want to talk about.
I'm heading to London. Today is Thursday. I'm heading to London tomorrow to be at the T100 event across the weekend, which is going to be fun. We've got the Talking Triathlon relay team taking part in the City AM relay competition. Um, we've got a swimmer, a biker, and a runner set up for that. So that's going to be an interesting weekend. And the news is coming out even as late as yesterday about the T100 London event with the likes of Hayden Wilde confirming that he is going to be racing the T100 event. So I think that's where we should start. I think it'd be a good place. His quote is he said, "I think having a bit of a forced rest period and watching everyone race makes me hungry to get back to the start line. So London's calling, see you there," was the end of the quote. So what do you think about Hayden coming back?
It was a pretty vague video because I saw it because I thought we talked about it last week and I never actually followed up. And I watched it and I must have watched it about 5 times going, is he in? Does that mean is he okay? I guess he's in. I'm surprised. I'm happy. I mean, I'm always going to be happy. Like I've said, I really have a lot of love for Hayden. I'm very interested to see how he goes. And just because, again, I've seen those videos. I mean, he's not going to come back unless he thinks he's going to be competitive. He's not that sort of guy, I don't think. Any race that he's in is going to be better for it. The thing that I wonder about though is,
What's happened to your
um,
face?
yeah, I'm fixing it. Is what was I going to say? Yeah, the thing that I was wondering about is we've done the fantasy picks for this week. We've got the what is it, the endurance, whatever. And instead of picking one, two, three, four, five, now you pick your team based on a budget. And I was surprised how many people picked Hayden in that top five. And I mean, I saw a lot of the picks that the pros were putting out that was on the T100 page. Like, I find it very funny that we like, give the guy the chance to sort of come back a little bit. Like, I mean, I could be completely wrong. He could come in and absolutely dominate the thing. But I, again, just think it's an interesting position for him to be in because he's coming back to racing and is automatically going to have a lot of expectation.
So that picking thing, that's not an order.
No,
I thought it was an order.
I don't think so. I think you
One,
pick
two,
your,
three, four, five.
because you
Oh,
got
you
the
just pick
budget,
a
right?
team, dude.
Yeah, you just pick a
Oh, I
team.
didn't know that. Oh, okay. Well, that's interesting because I've been moving them around in
Unless it
their
is an order
order.
and I've got it wrong, then I have to fix mine. But
Uh,
no,
yeah,
yeah, what
you're
do you think
right.
about him
You're right.
returning to racing with like all this pressure on him sort of straight away?
I think Hayden's the kind of guy who won't feel the pressure. I don't think he'll feel that pressure. I think it's up to people whether they pick him or not. I mean, I've put him, full disclosure, I've put him in my top five, but it's just
Sorry,
because I want him to.
can I just want to. It's up to people if they pick him or not. You've blown my
Yeah,
mind.
well, that's what I mean. What I'm saying is that that doesn't translate to pressure on him.
That's true.
It's he doesn't give a shit. Um, I've put him on my top five because I want him to be okay. It's kind of I'm sort of putting it out there into the universe that I'd like him to come back and have a stormer. Whether he will or not, is yet to be seen. But I don't think chatter around a race like that translates directly to pressure on him. He will know where he is in his recovery.
Hmm.
And, as an intelligent person, he will have judged this as a sensible thing to do as part of his comeback, whether he's ready to race full gas or not. And he will be taking advice from experts around him on what to expect, and I would expect him to go into this race with a full knowledge of where he is going to be compared to his best, and for that pressure not to really affect him in a negative way. So if he comes out and he finishes in the top 10, he'll hopefully just be like, well, that's kind of where I expected to be because I'm coming back from a bit of a journey into the unknown.
I think what you've just described is what we'll probably see. I would again love to see him, win the thing by 10. I mean, I wouldn't. I would like it to be closer, but I think we'll probably see him play it a bit safe. There is, however, one factor that could completely change my opinion on all of this. And that is another thing that I do not believe has been confirmed or denied as yet. I think the answer will be solved before race day. But there has been some whispers that there may not, in fact, be a swim at the T100 London this year.
Yes, we are looking. There's been a red algae
It's
bloom
all sorts of colors of
outbreak,
algae.
all manner of red algae blooms in the docks. So at the moment, as of the time of recording, it is not permissible to swim there. They just won't be allowed. So you'd suddenly have a bike run event, which would be really interesting. A fully on form Hayden Wilde, without not coming back from an injury, would take that apart alongside Sam Long. Sam Long would suddenly be in the game as well.
He did enter.
Um, yeah, so I have a feeling we will have a swim.
So do I.
Um, but were they to remove that swim, then yes, things would suddenly get a little bit more tasty taste on the picks front. I'm gonna make my picks assuming there will be a swim.
So
Um, but yeah, the I hope there is a swim because otherwise Lewis has got nothing to do and no element of our relay to wear a tri-suit in.
I think he just has to wear it all day if that's the case, to be honest. I think it's just like a permanent thing that he wears.
Yeah, it's his hanging around with a beer
Yeah, and then
suit.
you also then need to get a bottle of water and just make sure that he's wet the whole time in it as well, because it is a white mesh, which
Yeah,
yeah, will make him extremely uncomfortable. No, I believe the swim will happen just because if they can make you swim in the bay in Singapore, they can make you swim anywhere. So I
yeah.
think they'll find a way. I did
Take
joke
the
about it a little
take
bit,
the
but
take the French approach to it. Just
exactly. If
dip
they
it
can
in a
swim it,
little.
if they can swim in the Seine, they can swim in Docklands in London. I also joked about it before, but I like to see Sam Long on the start list. I'm glad that he's there for it. So I
Yeah,
think it'll.
same. I was a bit disappointed when he kind of went away from the T100 racing a little bit. I like seeing him. His presence there is always interesting, and the way that he races just creates he adds to the dynamic of the race by coming up through the field with the huge swim deficit that he has, and I think his presence is a plus for the T100 races.
Should we talk about the start list? Because there has been a few changes to it. I'm just going to try to bring it up without it like vanishing. What we have here in the men's race, we have Sam Long, Kyle Smith, Rico Bogan, Minno Koolhaas, Jelle Geens, Wilhelm Hirsch, Matthias Magerier, Henrik Gosch, Yuri Kulin, Harry Palmer, Mika Newt, Gregory Barnaby, Justus Nieschlag, Antonio Benito Lopez, Jamie Riddle, Nicholas Mann, Hayden Wild, Leo Berger, Jonas Hoffman, and Jack Hutchins in the men's race. In the women's race, we have Taylor Knibb, Ash Gentle, Julie Darren, Hannah Berry, Grace Alexander, Lucy Byram, Lucy Charles-Barclay, India Lee, Kate Curran, Lisa Bakaris, Daniela Kleiser, Holly Lawrence, Lizzie Rayner, Ellie Salthouse, Els Visser, Hannah DeVeet, Georgia Taylor Brown, Lisa Pateria, Laura Madsen, Kate Waugh, Jessica Learmonth. Pretty good start list.
Yeah, very solid start list. Both of them very solid. I think it's a shame Martin Van Riel's not there on the men's side. It's a shame Morgan Pearson's not there on the men's side.
That's not.
Um,
I'm very happy he's not.
but it's it's an interesting start list. I like the range of athletes we're starting to get in these T100 races, and the fact that it's you've got like a spread of abilities in different elements of the swim bike run. So you're gonna see a race come together. On the women's side, Taylor Knibb, obviously an athlete to watch. cakewalk athlete to watch. But for me, all my eyes will be on Jess Learmonth and what she can produce in this race. We've seen her going up through the gears as her involvement in these T100 races continues, and this is home territory for her. Not sure whether she'd agree that London was home territory, being from the north of England, but it's as close to a home race as she can get, and I'd really like to see her do really well here.
It is moments or events like this that makes me remember how much I used to hate having to talk to you about short course triathlon, especially women's, because just looking at the British females on this start list
Yeah,
is like on. So you got Georgia, India, Jess, Kate, Lucy. It's Lizzie. Like it's diabolical, mate. It really is just a bit upsetting, to be honest, that you've got so much talent. And
yeah, it
that's
really is. I mean, what you got: Kate Woff, Lucy Charles-Barclay, Lucy Byram, Holly Lawrence,
Holly. I forget about Holly. Yeah.
India Lee, Lizzie Rayner, and Georgia Taylor Brown. That's a team, isn't it?
And then you think about you've got like Sophie Caldwell, who's on maternity leave. Like it's yeah, not too shabby. Now,
No.
where we got told this week for some of our beautiful patrons set up a Talking Triathlon Fantasy League in this new platform after the Daily Try stopped doing it. It's called Endurance Picks. I'll try to put a link to it in the show notes this week, so if people want to join, they can. And I actually quite like this, Jimbo, because it is a little bit different to last year where it was just pick your like podium or whatever. This one is you get a budget. You get a budget of 200, let's say $200, and then you have to pick your men's and women's team within that budget, and each athlete has a value associated to their past performances and rankings and things like that. And I had a good time doing this, mate, to be honest. I found it like actually because you don't just get to pick the athletes you think you're going to win. You have to try to balance out like who you think overall is going to have the highest place finishes. And I think I'm pretty proud of my picks, to be honest. So, do you want to give me yours, and then I can talk about mine, or and then we can talk about who we
Are
think's
we
going
just
to
going
go
to
where?
give the five names?
We'll do both. We'll talk about our five names because
Okay.
I'm not actually convinced that my podium. I mean, I think they will, but yeah, we can just talk about the five names overall, and then we can talk about the actual picks.
In my men's team, I put Jelle Geens,
Yep.
Mika Newt,
Yep.
Kyle Smith,
Yep.
Rico Bogan,
Yep.
and Hayden Wilde.
Now, straight away, Yellow Gaines was very expensive. He was
Yeah,
he
he was,
was
wasn't he?
really expensive. He was the most expensive one. Like compared to anyone else, he was I think it was $32. I think the closest one to him was 23 or something. Uh,
Which leads me to believe he's going to give me good points when he finishes high up.
so do you want my men or do you want my female first? Then we can
Yeah,
swap.
you give your men as well to compare.
I went with Leo Berger. I went with Jamie Riddle.
I had Leo Biger in there for the longest time.
Yeah. And you couldn't make it work with the money, right? You had to
Yeah.
swap him for someone else. Yeah, I had somebody else in there that I had to drop as well because of the
Mm.
money. Jamie Riddle, Yella Gaines, Rico Bogan, and I have Matisse Magerier. I thought Matisse Magerier was a bargain, to be honest. I think it was like $15. So I thought he was.
Yeah. There's a bargain on the women's side.
Oh,
There's
there's
a
the
hell of a
biggest.
bargain on
You missed this bargain. I'm the
I
one who
know.
told you that you missed this
I know.
bargain.
Anyway, yeah. Um, both solid choices. I mean, I thought when you said that Yellow Games was expensive, I assumed that meant you hadn't gone with him.
No, I think he's a sure thing for the win, mate. So I was definitely gonna like. I'm gonna pick him for the win. Definitely, I think so.
Yeah.
You didn't want to count
All
because
right.
I
Women's.
believe as well. If I'm correct, if he wins this weekend, he's basically won the T100 series as well. So
I think almost, isn't it? Yeah.
almost, it's
Pretty
pretty going to be
much.
pretty hard for him to beat. Be beaten.
Mathematically, maybe not, but
Yeah.
yeah, it should seal it up for him. Women's side, I've got Taylor Knibb,
Yep.
Jessica Learmonth,
Yep.
Georgia Taylor Brown,
Yep.
Lizzie Rayner,
Yep.
and Holly Lawrence.
Again, interesting picks. Georgia, so for context, people who haven't been on this website yet, most athletes, like I think they range from about 15 up to, as I said, 32 for Yellow Gains. Georgia Taylor Brown was $2.
Yeah. Now, the reason I missed this is because they have the most expensive athlete at the top, and then
Yeah.
it scrolls down to the cheapest. So I'd obviously gone on there, picked my athletes, but not and scrolled down to like near the bottom, but not bothered going all the way to the bottom because I thought my brain must have just been like, well, I'm near the bottom now. There's nobody to be down there I'm going to want to pick. So the last athlete on that list was Georgia Taylor Brown for $2 or $3.
Two.
£3.
Two
Pounds.
dollars, two
Two
dollars,
pounds.
dollar
And so,
dues.
that's a hell of a bargain, isn't it, for
Yeah.
a strong athlete? Because I mean, it's all like you say, it's all based on rankings and past races and stuff. So without that history having been built up, she's a cheap buy. So yeah, I was pleased with that.
See, it's funny because my the reason I found her quickly was because she was the first one that I was going to pick. Like, so I knew she was racing, and I went looking for her because I thought I'm definitely going to pick Georgia Taylor Brown. So yes, I have Georgia Taylor Brown on my list. I have India Lee, I have Taylor Knibb, I have Julie Darren, and I have Jessica Learmonth. And I believe there's a few that I could see. I believe my podium will come from that group of five too. The athlete that I am most excited to watch race this race is Jessica Learmonth, like
Yeah,
hands
same,
down. I'm
without
so keen
question.
to see her race this race.
Yeah. Hopefully she's
Like,
got that calf thing under control now, and she can have a stinging swim, a banging bike, and
if there's a
then
swim.
yeah, and then hold on for that run. And I'd like to see her take the win.
I'm gonna make a big call now. I think there's no athlete I'm more excited to watch race this year than Jess Lemont because I mean I've thought for the longest time that she's going to be very good at middle distance, and she started quite like she made this bang and then the run wasn't there, and the way we just see her getting better and better and better. I'm so keen to see where she ends up by the end of this year. And honestly, that this is the biggest thing that's making me excited about triathlon at the moment is just watching Jess's progression because yeah, so, I think of an athlete like Katie Zafiris, right? I always thought Katie Zafiris would be very, very good at middle and long distance racing. We never really got to see that happen. I feel like we are going to get to see it with Jess. Like there was whispers at one point that she was on the start list for Ironman Leeds before, I don't know, it's a male only pro race. But that was, I was like my days, how good would it be to see Jess Lemoth have a go at an Ironman? So yeah, any race she's in at the moment, I'm so keen for.
It's annoying though, isn't it? There are people not in my five that I wish were there because of budgetary constraints.
Mm.
I wish I had India Lee in my five. I just couldn't make it work with the picks that I had. Um, I wish I had Ellie Salthouse in my five just because, tribute to her, but I couldn't make it work with the five.
Friend of the podcast, Ellie Salthouse.
Friend of the podcast, Ellie Salthouse. And yeah, so yeah, it's going to be interesting. Who's your podium?
I'm going to go back to the actual start list to make sure I get it all correct, but we'll start with third place and then we can swapsies if you like.
Yeah, deal.
Uh, okay, so do you want to start with the women or the men?
Start with the women, shall we?
I'm going to pick George Taylor Brown for third.
Fair enough. Then I am gonna pick who's
Mm.
gonna be my third place athlete. Holly
I know who you're going to
Lawrence.
pick. Oh, wow. Wow. Okay, that wasn't what I was expecting. Now, why do you think that? Explain to me a little bit why, how you see it going for Holly to come third.
I just think that she's had some strong finishes so far. I think we're seeing a bit of a resurgence from Holly, and I think this is a home race for her to a point, and and I see her being able to put a really solid swim bike run together for this kind of course.
Yeah, okay. I feel like Georgia is going to be very strong on the bike and good on the run. I think there might be a little gap on the swim, and I just think she's going to probably just not be quite sharp enough to get higher than third. Having said that, I think there's a lot of other people that could fight for third place as well. Uh, I just want to say now, because I'm not going to pick up, I don't think we're going to see Lucy Charles podium at this race. And I'll only say
No.
that because I think Lucy Charles is all in on Kona, and this is
Yeah,
something she's
agreed.
doing.
So who did you think I was going to pick for my third?
Lizzie Rayner.
Ah, fair enough.
Second place is me. I am going to pick in second place Taylor Knibb.
Yeah, same, exactly.
Yeah. And I
I
guess we're
meet you
probably going to
there.
have the
I
same
meet you.
first place as
I
well.
think we are probably going to have the same first place. We both think Jess Learmonth is going to win this, no?
No, I got Julie Darren.
Oh, have you? Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, I think Jess is gonna
Now that
have
I've
a
said that, I
performance.
want to swap. I'm going to swap Georgia for Jess. Jess is my third. Julie's my second. Taylor is my first. A reason I say that is I think hang on. What did I say? Julie Darren will
Yeah, you
win.
just fuck, you just
Taylor
fucked
Knibb
that up.
second. Jess
Yeah,
third. I
there
think
you go.
that the course is it's not there's no climbs. It's just a big sausage with that weird kind of technical section stuff down near the far end. I don't really think it's the sort of course where Talonib is going to be able to absolutely rip through and put a huge gap. I don't think it's just, to me, at least from memory, isn't that sort of course. And I feel like,
It's not. I mean, certainly with the 8 laps on the bike,
yeah.
it's not a course where someone disappears into the distance, in my opinion.
I also just remember because I was at Dubai last year where India was chasing down Taylor, and every time they go through the technical sections, she'd pull time back or maintain, but it was those long straights where Taylor would put the time in. And the thing with this London course, from being on the course last year with you, is even the long straights have got these fucking speed bumps in the middle. So you
So
can't
many
even
speed
like
bumps.
so many speed bumps. Like this isn't the course I think the bikers are gonna like they'll be able to get a thing, but a runner is gonna win this race, I think. And that's why I think Julie Darren's gonna win the thing. Yeah. Like it is actually harder than I thought it was because I'd forgotten about. Yeah,
It
you
is.
blindsided me then. I just talked about how excited I was to watch a race and immediately forgot to pick her. That's well done, Tim. You fucking idiot. Men's race podium.
Whoa, yellow game. I mean, am I going third place, I suppose?
Yeah, well we've already said we're going to pick yellow for the win. So
Yeah,
let's
so
go. Let's go the
yellow
other
I
way.
think is yellow's going to win this thing. I think second place, I'd like to see Rico. He's had a really good performance this year and then he's kind of gone off a little bit. I'd like to see him back on the podium. So second place for Rico Bogan.
Okay, I'm going to go Leo Berger.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, I had him in there for the longest time and I'd still like every bit of me agrees with you that
Mm,
Leo Berger could well be on this podium. He's just not in my five for budgetary constraints, and
yeah,
therefore I can't pick him. I think the rule should be if he's not in your five, if someone's not in your five, you can't pick him,
we can do that
and
if you like. Do you want to do that?
that's yeah, I think that's
Did
the
I pick
way.
anybody outside my five? Leo's in my five. Yellow's in my five. Jess, I picked. No, okay, I'm safe. I'm safe. I'm safe. I'm safe.
Yeah,
I'm
so
good.
am I. So Rico for my second, and then who's going to be your second?
Leo Berger's my second.
Oh, there you go. We've done that.
Yeah.
Third place for me, Kyle Smith.
It's a good shout, mate. Yeah, I think that's a really good shout. I am torn because I'm going to do it. I think Jamie Riddle's going to come third.
Interesting.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Jamie Riddle. I'm a believer, mate.
Okay.
I'm a believer.
Yeah.
He's going strength. He's
Fast
in my five
starter.
too. I feel like Rico Bergen's the obvious choice out. I think the easy pick for the podium is Yellow, Rico, and Leo. To me, that's the easy pick. But I'm going to not pick Rico. Again, for the bike reason, he's so strong on the bike at the moment. I think he's not going to get as big an advantage. Jamie Riddle's a good swimmer. He's a good cyclist, and I think his run over 18 should be pretty good because he's short course. So yeah, I'm going to pick Jamie for my podium. But man, this like I'd love to see Hayden Wilde win this thing. Like truly, I just feel like yeah, let's let him give him a race to come back. And
Yeah, I
actually,
mean, look, I put him in my five because I want him to be okay. I'm not going to put him on my top three podium because I think it would almost be unfair.
I'll be honest. If Hayden Wilde was at 100% fitness, I wouldn't pick him for the win over Yellow Gaines. I'd pick Yellow Gaines over Hayden at the moment, especially like we
Be a
saw
hell
what
of a race,
happened.
though, wouldn't it?
I think 70.3 Worlds last year was absolutely
Yeah.
brilliant. Uh, I'm very keen to see those two race because Hayden has a similar situation now in middle distance that he's had in short course where he I don't think he can probably outrun. Like he's not going to win a race on a run against Yellow Gaines. They're so evenly. Like not to say Yellow will definitely beat him on the run. I think that if it comes down to a run battle, it's not a sure thing. And I feel like Hayden is a sort of athlete that wants to set himself up to I mean, this God again. You're talking about it's up to people to choose. Here am I saying the most obvious thing. Hayden will do whatever he can on the run to make sure that it is a sure thing on the bike to make sure it is a sure thing. And I think we see him sometimes pay the price for that a little bit.
Mhm.
And so that dynamic between those two is really fascinating for me. It's disappointing that Martin Van Riel just to me isn't a factor so far this year. I don't, like, he won the T100. It feels like that's sort of where he's made his name, and he had that great performance in Singapore after his Ironman. But I feel like he's all in on Nice as well. So yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, it is disappointing not seeing his name on these lists because, you know, seeing that pink squishy suit dominating is
it's
always
not
fun.
anymore. Remember, it's red and white now. He doesn't wear the pink and yellow anymore.
Ah. I hadn't noticed this.
You're a
Probably because we
fake
haven't seen him race.
fake fan, James Bale.
Yeah, yeah, of course. Yeah.
No, I'm very keen to see Hayden race. Are there any athletes on the list that you're just like curious about? Somebody maybe outside. I mean, obviously Lizzie Rayner in the females race. You're
Yeah,
excited
Lizzie
to
Rainey will
see.
be really interesting. Her first T100. I'm very keen to see how she's getting on. Catching up with her over the weekend to have a chat. Lucy Byram,
Yeah,
I always love to see her on a start list. Her swim is incredible, and then she just kind of is there or thereabouts throughout the race. Whether she can hold on to the end, I think. Yeah, I think she brings a lot to the races she's in, and whether Kate Woff can refine that form that brought her the victory with her first T100 race and actually be there as part of this race and dictating terms at the front.
I feel like Kate's biggest challenge is there's too many people that will be up the front on the bike. So that's how she won. I mean, she also backed it up with an absolutely amazing run in Singapore. I feel like there's enough people that she's not going to be able to get away on the bike anymore. Like, so that's sort of, I think she'll still be, I could see Kate. I mean, I'd be surprised if Kate isn't in the top five. The athlete that I'm really keen to watch in the women's as well is Daniela Kleiser. I think if there's no
Yeah.
swim, she wins a thing, like comfortably. But I think if there's going to be a swim, it's going to be a case of how big is that gap and can she close it down, which is going to make it really, again, interesting. I'm keen to see Lizzie Rayner. I'm really glad they gave Lizzie a wild card, and then obviously Harry Palmer. Harry has had a huge run of races, made his Ironman debut at Leeds a couple of weeks ago, but won the Swansea 70.3. He's a guy that
Yeah.
is just going to strength to strength, and I think he truly deserves his wild card here, and I'm keen to see how he goes. So, and
Sam
obviously
Long,
Sam
of
Long,
course.
yeah, yeah.
Sam Long, just, he's there on the start list. He last minute decision to come and race London after Vegas was cancelled. And then, his decision making process, a lot of that revolves around his wife being pregnant and being in the right places at the right time for various things. So yeah, really pleased to see him on the start line. If the swim's cancelled, then he will rip it up. Um, and yeah, Harry Palmer after his 70.3 in Swansea. Be cool to see what he can do here.
One of just while we're on the T100 thing, just because I was having a conversation with somebody who I shall not name yesterday. We were talking about the T100 Wollongong, which is in October, same weekend as the WTCS Grand Final. But they've done the T100 race the day before the WTCS race. And I feel like that is such a missed opportunity because, firstly, I think they're going to struggle to get a lot of the T100 contracted athletes down to Wollongong. It's so far away for people. Trust me, I do it all the time. But I feel like they missed an opportunity where if they had to put the WTCS race first, like let's say they put the WTS Grand Final on the Friday and then they put the T100 on the Sunday, I think you would have seen a fair few WTCS people step up for a wild card. And I feel like we're not going
Mm,
to see that now because nobody's going to do the WTCS Grand Final the day after a T100. So
no.
I feel like that's a bit of a missed opportunity.
Even that way round, though, it's still very tight, isn't it?
Mm. Be cool to see though. Yeah, so just wanted to get that. It's going to be fascinating to see who actually goes to that race. I hope everyone, I mean, selfishly, I hope everybody. It's going to be a really, I do like the model that we're seeing where T100 and WTCS events are happening at the same place. Like we got Frejus is the same one. Frejus the French Riviera one, is that right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the one.
Yeah. So there's a WTCS race there as well. I like this model because it is becoming a bit of a triathlon festival and it's a good opportunity for people who want to watch two pro races or three or four pro races or more to do that. So
How easy is it to get to Wollongong?
yeah, pretty. I mean, it's like an hour south of Sydney. It's just you jump on the
Okay,
highway. There's a train.
that's yeah.
I'll
It's not a
definitely be down
middle
there
of
for
nowhere
it.
place.
No, 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 no. It's good. Now let's use that as a segue. Actually, let's segue onto the next thing because I want to talk about this thing because I'm very happy about this. Talking about WTCS Grand Finals, Jimbo, the 2028 WTCS Grand Final has been announced and it is going to be happening in Tauranga in New Zealand, or Mount
Yes,
Maunganui, I think
indeed.
more specifically. And I love this because that is one of my favorite places ever. And yeah, I just wanted to give this a shout out because I have done the Tauranga half a whole heap of times. I think I even said last week on the show that I'm going to go and do it in January next year. So to see this place, which is like the reason I love this race so much, Jimbo, is the entire town gets behind this event. It's one of those events where you're out doing the race and the streets are just lined with not just like family, it's the locals who are just out cheering for you. It's such a cool event and it will be such a great place. They've got World Cup events, I think, in the lead up. And then 2028 they have the WTCS Grand Final and like chef's kiss. What a great decision to move the WTCS Grand Final there.
Yeah, it really will be. And, an opportunity for someone like Hayden Wilde to not only get himself a gold medal in 2028, upgraded from where he is now, but to then underline that with a grand final win in what is essentially his home race.
Oh, this is Hayden Wilde will never get a closer to a home race
No,
because he's lived in Tauranga a lot. So do you know where he comes from in New Zealand?
somewhere.
Whakatane,
That's it, yeah.
which is very close to Tauranga. Yeah, I know that his old coach lives there. Craig Kirkwood lives in Tauranga. There's a lot of triathlon presence in Tauranga. Yeah, I think this is brilliant. So I'm very, very, and again, I'm assuming, so it says Tauranga. I think they're going to put the race in Mount Maunganui, to be honest, because Tauranga is a bit more like industrial and it's just around this little bay. You've got this beautiful, beautiful, beautiful bay with Mount Maunganui. There's like literally a mountain that comes out of the ocean. It's fantastic. So I'm so happy to see them move that race. And to be honest, I know that we said how good it was to like Paris the Olympics and have this, brilliant, huge event in these big cities. I think the reality is it's only going to probably happen at something like the Olympics these days. So I'm all for them picking smaller cities, having better courses with more people like that. That Italian race we saw Alghero that was earlier this year. I think was an absolutely brilliant WTCS race.
Yeah.
So we need more
New
places like
Zealand
that.
is one of the most beautiful places I've ever been. And like you say, Tauranga is stunning. The like you said, a bit industrial in places, but then the surrounding area is absolutely beautiful. So the race and the support will be next level. And I think part of the reason they'll have chosen this as the grand final that year will be because of Hayden Wilde and his where he sits in the race and how much interest and support his participation will bring to that event. New Zealand will be here for it, I think.
Yeah. New Zealand's triathlon crazy too. Like in all seriousness, you want to talk about a country punching above their weight. New Zealand does so well, has done so well for so many years. They've got such a legacy with, so many incredible athletes.
I
It's
hear their
it's
drivers don't like cyclists very much though,
it's true. It is
which is
the
which is which is the wrong end of the spectrum.
yeah, I know, but it's the same here as well. New Zealand does seem particularly bad for that, but yeah, I mean Hayden Wilde's like I mean he's not Brownlee famous or anything, but there's a lot of Kiwis who know who Hayden Wilde is. It's actually quite funny to me now because like, I know a lot of Kiwis and they'll like talk about Hayden Wilde. I'm like, yeah, I know Hayden, like he's a legend. So yeah, it'll be good. I like it. I really really like this, and I think WTCS are actually kicking a few goals lately. We've always been quite critical of them when we think they've made mistakes. So I think it's important to praise them when they do things well. I mean, I think that the grand final in Wollongong is going to be a part. Look, let's remove the age group thing because I know that for age groupers it's probably a hard place to go for a grand final. But from the pro race, I think it's going to be a brilliant place for a race. It's very, they've got the World Cup they've done down there. There's a Wollongong triathlon that I've done many times. It's got a few little hills. You run up past the lighthouse. Like it's a very good spot for a race. And I think you'll see a lot of people will come out and support that event. So yeah, I think that they're doing some really good stuff in terms of races. So well done, WTCS.
Yeah, agreed. Agreed. And 2028 is going to be a hell of a year.
The running algorithm is a brand new tool that gives you a training plan for everything from 5 kilometers to marathon. You know that your schedule can change, and if you have to skip a session or just end up running with a friend and doing some extra, the running algorithm will adapt and adjust your plan to keep you consistent. Head to therunningalgorithm.com and use the code TALKINTRIATHLON, all capitals, and you can use the running algorithm for free while they add lots of exciting new features over the next 3 months before you decide if you want to go on and pay later. Do you want to talk about the PTO? I guess is it T100 or PTO? How do we T100?
Haven't we done the T100 section?
Yeah, we're talking about the investment that they got, mate.
Oh, the investment. Yeah, I forgot about the investment.
44
Yeah,
minutes
the
in.
PTO still exists, doesn't it, as a name?
It says PTO here. PTO secures Saudi-backed investment.
Yeah.
So I guess it's the PTO.
don't really hear much about the difference between the PTO and the T100 anymore, do you?
I guess it's like the PTO is the organization, of T100 is their brand, is how I
Yeah.
guess we will. Now, do you want me to go through
Okay.
I mean, I don't have all the
Yeah,
details.
go on. Go on.
Uh,
Say, tell me what you got.
they got they got an investment from the Saudi Arabia-backed Surge Sports Investment, which is backed by their Saudi Arabia's public investment fund, and they believe the investment is valued at approximately 40 million with an M, not a B, dollars. And that's after another investment of $10 million already this year. So the PTO has a bit of cash, and they say the funding will support the PTO's continued international growth, innovation in race formats, and long-term athlete and fan engagement. It also says it's going to help to grow events in Middle East and North America, North Africa. So yeah, I mean, it's good that they're getting some extra cash going in.
It really is. I mean, it's good that they're getting additional investment. It's good that that investment is increasing from the 10 million up to the 40 million. Um, but my only response to my impulse response to these things is it's not very much money, which sounds ridiculous to anyone out
It's
there
not
who's a
though.
normal
I know.
person like us living life. Give me 40 million, you'll never hear from me again, mate. I would just disappear into the wilderness and live
There
in a
would be
shack
signs.
somewhere.
There would be signs.
But uh, but 40 million on a when you're looking at a global broadcast sports entity, you're looking to get bigger. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm not doing them down. They are on a trajectory where that investment is increasing. So you got to start somewhere, and where they've started is great, and where they're going is upwards. So awesome work, well done. But it's 49 million or 40 something million is not a huge amount of money, dollars, when it comes to what you are going to do to build a global broadcast event. So it'll be interesting to see where they tactically spend that money.
There's a few things I think. Firstly, I just want to say I love that. So I went to try today for the article because it remains free to access. You don't need a subscription like some others that we are a little upset about. But the last paragraph of this article about it is, despite the large amount of money being pumped into the organization, the PTO has barely managed to get its race calendar in order over the past 2 years. Several races have had their dates changed multiple times or were even cancelled altogether. In addition, the organization has seen a decline in global viewership. It's just like slap, a huge slap in the face to end the article.
A little brutal end, a little sting in the tail
A
there,
little
let's
sting in the
say.
tail. No, again, I think that again, it just means that we keep going. It gives us a few more chances to try to find that thing that we've spoken a lot about. The only thing that I want to touch on a bit with you now is we've seen the PTO come out and make a bit of a shift towards mass participation. We know that they've got their age group rates as becoming a bigger priority for T100, which is a sort of departure from the original. It was all about the broadcastable sport, broadcastable sport. Now we're moving towards participation. And the other one that is similar to this is Super Try, broadcastable sport, moving more towards participation. I know we've touched on this previously, but like, do you, does it worry you that these people that have come out saying that we are going to make this thing broadcastable, it doesn't seem like anybody really is doing that anymore. It feels like Ironman have continued to do their thing consistently, being like, we're mass participation and we have some pro races. And everyone else will be like, you're wrong. We're not going to do what you do. We're going to do it right this time. And then every single one is slowly ending up doing more and
Yeah,
more and more what
slides
Ironman
in
does.
line.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's the way to make money in
Yeah.
triathlon, isn't it? I'm not saying it's the right way. I'm not saying it's the ideal way, but when you're looking to make money out of this sport, participation is all you got, really. In
You
terms
know,
how scalable it is, I don't know, but like
let's
really, you're not people aren't paying for bums on seats to watch these things.
I think this sort of leads into another conversation, and I touched on it before, and I actually think it is worth discussing because they've done a lot of good. And look, so a website that we have used for many years, we think the guys over there are absolutely wonderful, has just recently changed to a subscription model for access to articles. Try 24/7, 24/7 endurance now. And I know that when we worked this out, it was quite a topic of discussion in the WhatsApp group, Jimbo. Now, again, I think the guys over there do the Lord's work. I'm really grateful for everything that they do. That we have a great relationship with them. But what do you think about this as a like I think we should discuss this because it sort of to me seems like the similar sort of thing where no matter what it seems to be about triathlon, it keeps coming back to the people that pay for it are the athletes. Like it's never, it just feels like it's every single thing we're looking at is struggling to generate income from actual legitimate
Yeah. Outside
advertising.
sponsors,
Yeah.
advertising, all of this stuff. Yeah. And advertising is solely down to viewership figures.
Mm.
The more figures, the more people you got watching, the more advertisers are going to be interested, the higher price you can charge. So the viewership figures are key. And if they're moving towards a participation model, then that would lead you to believe that maybe they're not seeing that sustainable viewership increase. Um, so yeah, so it's I back the PTO. I got a lot of time for what they're doing. Their events are great. The team there are doing great work, and I really
Great
enjoy the
team.
weekends they put on.
Truly
I
legends. Like
Yeah, I
such good group
even
of people.
I even really enjoy the broadcast. The whole thing. I love it. I just wish a load of other people did as well, because then we could see that increase in viewership, and then you'd see that increase in advertising investment, and then you could see this thing take off. I just hope that we see that. But we gotta talk about it. Like, the numbers may not be huge, but they are seeing increased investment from outside investors. So
Something.
spend that money well, spend it tactically, and keep going.
Yeah. Yeah. I I I I met with another guy, another athlete manager yesterday, and we were talking about it. And we were talking about, I guess, you do this as well, mate, like just the landscape in general. And I don't know about you at least, but it is like everyone you talk to, there seems to be a decrease in willing to spend. Budgets are constantly being cut. Or more people accepting, like, I mean, I know I talked on this in the Patreon episode, and I'll really try to avoid specifics, but one of my athletes got offered a deal that was for a product that no athlete needs. Like there's zero, there's not even, you couldn't even make the case that, oh, well, at least it's something that I don't have to buy myself to, it was just this completely random product that had previously invested quite heavily in the sport and suddenly offered this product only deal. And we just went like, thank you, but no. And to hear that other athletes accept the deal is just like,
Yeah, it's a pickle. It really is. And to see, I mean, I think it's just reflected across the sport though. Outside of pro racing, you look at 10 years ago, everything was on the up.
mm,
You could go on a bike website and there'd be bikes for days of all different prices and ranges. Nowadays, you go on a triathlon bike website, it's just top end bikes. And that's it. There's no sort of real range of mid-range price triathlon bikes out there. And I just think people are just like, oh, I don't want to spend any more fucking money.
mm.
Everything's so expensive. Stop it. Like, why are the shoes this much? Why are the bikes that much? Why is everything so expensive? And I think that translates through things. And I just think people are slowing down on the spending.
I wonder though, is this because that, and again, I'm very guilty of this obsession with the speed. Everybody, it's not about participating anymore. I think for a long time it was about finishing an Ironman. And now it's about what's your PB, how fast have you gone? So therefore, everybody is spending more on the top end stuff because it makes them go far. They'll get the fancy shoes, they'll get the fancy bike, they get the fancy wheels, they get the fancy suit, they get the fancy swim skin, they get the fancy. It's just because they get fast, 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 buy as much free speed as they can. Oh my God, this costs so much, I can't maintain it. I'm out. Like I just think truly for this, again, I'm ranting now. They need to really bring back the fun element. I think it's just missing. But anyway, we've gone massively off topic. Let's get back on topic. James Bale. There's a few start lists out this week, and there's one in particular that I would like to talk about, or there's two that we can talk about. The first one is Ironman Kalmar is happening on the 16th of August. The start list is out. I will go through it in a
Female,
second. Oh,
sorry,
you can go
women's
through it?
only pro race.
Yep. Have you got the start list there?
Yes.
Hit
Marlene
me
de
with it.
Boer, Katrine Christensen, Sarah Svens, Chelsea Savaro,
Who?
Nikki Bartlett, Chelsea Sodaro. Sorry, my brain is too early. Chelsea Savaro.
Who's
Weirdly,
that?
I've been learning a song on my guitar this week, and there's a word in that I keep putting a V in, and it begins with an S. So I think my brain did the same thing here.
I like the thought of Chelsea
Um,
Savara. It sounds a bit more like, I don't
sounds a
know.
bit, yeah, a bit more
I don't know.
anyway,
Anyway, keep
my
going.
brain's gone. Joanna, Jocelyn McCauley, Katrina Wolf, Katrina, why-
Too hard. Let's just pretend.
I did just bail. Yeah, I bailed on that one.
RN?
Those are the big names on the
Joanna
list.
RNs? RNs, I
That's it.
think. I love to hear that moment of just like, fuck. Yeah, look, there's some I mean, Chelsea Sodaro, firepower. Nikki Bartlett has been
Absolutely.
firepower. Sarah Svensk, I always think is firepower. Jocelyn McCauley, firepower. It's weird to see Jackie Herring not on the start list because I feel like the first half of the year, every single Ironman start list had Jackie Herring's name on it. Um, it's good though. Yeah, so
Great to see
that's
Nikki
next
Bartlett
weekend.
on a start list. I was wondering when we would see her on a start list again. And it's great to see her race. I love her work and I hope she has a really good race at this one.
So that's the female pro race, and then the same weekend there's a male pro race, and that pro race is Ironman Copenhagen. I've always said, James Bale, that if I did an Ironman, this would be the one that I would do. Ironman Copenhagen, give it to me.
There's loads of names on here, mate.
What the hell was that?
That was that was a yawn. I was yawning.
I
It's
was
very
looking down to
early.
take the note. Our audio listeners are going to be thinking, what the hell was that? Ironman Copenhagen is what he said, and the start list is go for it, James.
We've got Joe Skipper, Rasmus Svenningsson, Michael Weiss, Cody Beals, Jasper Svenningsson, Thor Madsen, Tom Valen. Who else am I picking out here? Matthew Palmer. Uh,
Don't forget our patron. Don't forget him. Don't you
I
leave him
won't
off that
forget.
start list.
Where is he? Is Emil
There
on
he
here? Is
is.
he?
He's on there,
Emil
mate.
Holm. There you go.
Scott
Yeah, so some big
Steenberg.
names here as well.
It's a good start list, I think. It's
It
a
is a good
very
start list. I think
Scandinavian
it's gonna be
start
interesting.
list.
Obviously, Emil for the win.
I hope he goes well. I hope he doesn't win it just because I hope somebody else wins it.
Yeah, yeah. How is Joe going into this race? How's he
He's
feeling?
he's good. He didn't race Leeds. He didn't like the course. I think I touched on. He said it was thought it was going to be dangerous. As I said, he's all focused on Ironman Nice. He just wants to test a few things out. He's been in the wind tunnel again. He's actually made a few changes to his training, so I guess it just wants to find a few events to try to test things out. But yeah, I think this is a good event for him. Like I said, I think there's a few names on this that are of interest to me. So obviously Joe, Rasmus, we saw that he had a stress reaction at some point. So I guess he's back.
Yeah, he's back. He's building back up. All signs point to good, but this will be the tester, won't it?
Michael Weiss surprised us at Ironman Austria a few weeks ago. Cody Beals, I always like to see Cody on a start list. I think he's great for the sport. Emil Holm, genuinely am excited to see Emil race. I love that he's one of these guys that's like, I'm done with short course, or I'm not done. I'm doing short course and I'm doing Ironman at the same time. I wish more of the short course guys would do this because it's the biggest opportunity I think at the moment. But there's a lot of Danes on this, like Thor Bendix Madsen as well. I'm glad to see he's on this start list. So yeah, there's enough for this to make it an interesting event. And in terms of a race, I think this is one of the better Ironman ones because they're literally in Copenhagen, mate. It's not like Ironman Copenhagen and you're halfway to Sweden. Like
No,
it's
yeah, it really is an inner city race, isn't it?
yeah. The bike isn't, but the run course literally goes right in the city. So yeah, if I ever did an Ironman, this would be the one that I would do. I think it's a brilliant, absolutely brilliant event, uh, and it's got a pretty good start list. So yeah, not bad. Ironman Copenhagen.
Down with it.
There you
Down
go.
with it.
Jimbo, is there anything else we need to talk about this week, or is it time to start wrapping things up?
I think that's wrap up time, isn't it?
We can start to wrap things up then, mate, if you do it. If people want to find out more about this little podcast that we do called Talking Triathlon, James, where can they go?
If you want to support the show, jump on at patreon.com/talking triathlon. If you want to follow Tim, he's at T414 on Instagram, and I'm at bale.james85 on Instagram. We are on Instagram as at Talking Triathlon. And if you join the Patreon group, you'll get access to the monthly bonus episodes and the social groups, and we'll put you in the WhatsApp group. And the WhatsApp group is what mainly fuels our conversations around triathlon. If you're not in the Patreon group and you want to get involved and you want to comment, then leave a comment on the YouTube channel. That's where you're most likely to get a response.
Just don't tell us we're boring. I don't think our egos can take it. I realized we
Boring
made an
people
error
with
this week,
boring
mate.
lives.
I know. I realized we made an error this week, mate, to be honest. And I need to apologize to our listeners. And I need to apologize to the followers of Tripole Athlete because they put up a poll on their Instagram last week off the back of our episode. Do you remember the poll, James Bale? Do you remember what it was,
Yeah,
mate?
I do. Amusing.
What, What were the options? It was lemon juice in the face. It was
That was it.
electrified
Lemon juice,
balls.
electrodes to the balls.
Fuck
I
off,
just
you
like
dirty
taking
cheat.
part in polls, and that's it.
Fuck
Yeah,
off, you
fuck off, you dirty
fuck off,
cheat.
you dirty cheat. Just before we wrap up, mate, there is just one more race I'd like you to check for me. Can you get back on Tripole Athlete? Now, if you scroll down just past Ironman Kalmar, I just need you to tell me where that race is, if that's okay. It's a 70.3 race. Can you see
Yeah,
the one? Hey, where's that at?
yeah. That's Ironman 70.3 Hadrach Kralov, I would assume.
Very good. Very good. As James said, YouTube is a great place to leave comments. We always appreciate the conversations we have on there. Patreon.com is where you can go. Patreon.com/talking triathlon is where you can go as well. James, really appreciate it as always, mate. Guys, thank you for listening. We'll be back next week again. Hope everybody enjoys T100 this weekend. Talk to you later.
Cheerio.